Sagittarius, welcome to August. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for Sag for August 2017. And there is a lot going on in August. We have 2 eclipses and we have a Mercury retrograde. So it can be kind of an intense time. But I'm going to talk a little bit briefly about the new moon and the full moon, both of which are eclipses. I'll have separate videos on each of those, but I'll just briefly talk about where those are happening for Sag, and then we'll get right into the tarot reading. So on July 23rd, there was a new moon in Leo in your 9th house, the house of publishing, of higher learning, the house of travel. It's where Sagittarius normally is the ruler. So it feels very familiar to you, Sag, and we're going to get a second echo of that, the more intense version of that, on August 21st. We get another new moon in Leo in your 9th house, which again is your ruling house, or the house that Sag rules. And this one's going to be a little bit more intense because it's a solar eclipse on August 21st. Now, what new moon in Leo in your 9th house does is it's sort of like putting extra firepower there because it's an eclipse. And it's also in Leo. So it is your house of higher learning. It is your house of, I just get the sense, Sag, that you guys are leveling up. That you may have all this inspiration, power, fire, heart, courage, drive to maybe travel more or learn something more. I'm just getting that you're going up to a new spiritual level. I'm getting a lot of Hierophant energy from that for some reason. And when we get a new moon in something, it means that you have the opportunity to plant new seeds, to start something new. And this could be something that you're starting for the next 6 months. It could be even publishing something that has to do with higher learning. It could be expression into the outside world. If you're interested in publishing a book or publishing a blog, something on the internet, if you're interested in starting a course that has to do with spirituality, religion, higher learning, that is all super featured. And as well as if you're preparing any travel plans, I could see some of you taking off on some sort of travel adventure for 6 months. There's a lot of Leo energy here. And it's Leo means being on stage. So if you guys are into doing something that you're broadcasting, I'm going to use that word, broadcast. So it could even be writing about travel. That's very 9th house. Now's a good time to begin it. You're going to have extra firepower, confidence, heart energy, courage, all of that between now and the next 6 months. And it's especially going to be starting around August 21st. So enjoy that, harness that wave that's breaking. If you think about the energies building at the end of July, whatever you're experiencing around the new moon, July 23rd, there's going to be a second wave that's even more powerful August 21st. That's when the wave is actually going to crest and break. And then you can ride that wave for the next 6 months with whatever you're trying to share with the world, Sag, wherever you're trying to go, whatever you're trying to learn. So I'm kind of getting that you are preparing for a new epiphany. And then also August 7th, we have a lunar eclipse in your 3rd house in Gemini. 3rd house in Aquarius. So that's about communication. And that is about feeling free in your words. I think because it's a full moon, you're letting something go, Sag, with the way that you're communicating or the way that you're socializing. You're actually releasing something. Something's coming to completion in terms of the way that you communicate. Or you might stop communicating with a particular person or particular group. Aquarius means being free. So I'm actually getting for some of you that you're going to stop communicating with someone that makes you feel confined or that you're struggling with, that you're going to break free of that. Because Aquarius is the rebel. Aquarius is about doing things differently. being free. And with the full moon in Aquarius, that's illuminated for you, that freedom of communication, freedom to communicate any way that you feel. And maybe in a different way, maybe with different people. So something that is coming to completion, and you're going to be releasing something in terms of how you communicate, how you socialize, who you socialize with potentially. I'm seeing some of you are leaving someone behind with this full moon in Aquarius. I'm not sure who that is, or that you're just stopping talking to someone. So, or you may be just changing the way that you speak, the way that you write, the way that you, whatever communication means for you, something's ending in terms of communicating, or the shadow side of it is coming up for evaluation. You're going to feel differently about it because the shadow will come to the surface. That's what lunar eclipses do. The moon represents our emotions. So that's going to come up for review, and you might see something like, you might say, oh my gosh, I'm really seeing that I swear a lot, or whatever it is, or that I speak negatively, or that whatever your particular case is. You Sagittarius are usually pretty happy-go-lucky, pretty optimistic. That doesn't usually fit the personality of you, but I'm just saying whatever shadow aspects of communication you may be noticing, that may come up during August 7th for you to release, for you to identify and release. Let's see what else is coming up for you, Sag, for August. Oh, and one last thing I'll say too is we have a Mercury retrograde happening August 12th, beginning then, and it's going to last through the end of August, through the first week of September. So if things feel fuzzy or scrambled or backwards, it's just a good time to go backwards. It's a good time to review things, reset, revise, review, plan. You know, it's not necessarily forward motion, it's kind of backwards motion. So you may need to just take a step back the last half of August, and I see that you might be doing that here with Hermit anyway. So I'm going to go straight into the cards and talk about what they mean for each one. You know, I'm seeing, first of all, a lot of gray in these cards and in the background. So gray can go two different ways. Gray could just mean peace, taking a time out. It can mean feeling just like nothing's going on. Or it can also potentially mean like depression, or feeling like gray skies, feeling like you need to just take a time out in the world to think things over. And that's okay, Sag. You guys are usually in perpetual motion. You're a fire sign, you're the explorer, you're the traveler. It may feel in August just like nothing's going on. It may feel like a dead zone or a gray day. That's okay. I also want to encourage you to think of gray as neutral, as peace, as it's the balance between extreme opposites. It's actually reminding me of this Talking Heads song that says, heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. It's not very common for you guys as Sagittarius to tolerate medium gray. Like, you guys usually like action, you like fun, you like accomplishing things, you like, you know, making things happen, kicking up your heels. But sometimes taking a breather can be a good thing. And I'm actually going to say, Sag, for you for August, it might just be a good time to take a breather. It might just be a good time to just be, you know, instead of roller coasters, it's going to be a big roller coaster of a month for a lot of signs. But for you, I kind of get the sense that you can skate through it. If you just kind of hang along the middle line. It may feel like nothing's going on, but it's actually could be like a solidifying foundational sense of peace. If you think about cement, it can feel heavy, or it can just feel like foundation. It can feel stable. So I kind of get the sense that for August too, that you're pouring a foundation. That's really an image I'm getting for you, Sag, pouring a foundation, whatever that means for you, whether it's regarding a home, whether it's in regards to where you're going next. I kind of just see skate through it. Don't worry about if it feels like a dead zone. You're going on to the next chapter. It's sort of like the in-between pause between two pieces of music, Sag. So this is just what I'm getting for you. For the beginning of August, you have lots of options in front of you, and you may not know which ones to choose. I'm going to light this up a little bit more. You may have lots of options and you're not sure which way to go. Do you want door A, B, C, D, E, F, or G? Like, it's almost like saying you're having a hard time making a choice because it's too fuzzy. You're not sure, like, what if you choose a particular cup, what you're going to get. And sometimes this card is like what you see is not necessarily what you get. This is a card of like what's behind door number 3. And it's like this figure is having a hard time choosing because the options are so fuzzy. So when this card comes up, I usually say, Sag, do your research. Check the references. Check and see if what's being offered actually matches what you're choosing. And it may be a time to hold off on making choices. I'm also seeing that the thing that really is on your heart is not necessarily one of the options. Like, I actually see that with Page of Cups in reverse, it's saying like you feel what you really want, you feel like you can't have that, or that it's not one of the options being presented to you. You know, like you're feeling like you're having to choose between all these hazy options, but what you really want, like the younger side of yourself, really wants this one thing where the fish is, and you can see he's very pleased with it, and he's, you know, optimistic and open-hearted towards it. It may feel like that's not one of your options, and you're kind of bummed out about it. Maybe you're kind of sad that you feel left out in the cold. But I am going to encourage you to connect with the energy of this card, Page of Cups. This means doing what you love. It means being infatuated. It means having your heart leap. I usually point out that the fish is leaping in this card. It means like, look at the stirrings of your soul. Water energy is emotional energy, and you can see with the page that the ocean is behind him here. And he's got one little snippet of the ocean showing up. Now, as he matures, you know, Page has just one little fish in a cup. It's a one little piece of emotion. But as he matures, he goes into Jack energy, and then Queen energy, who sits on a throne right at the foot of the ocean. And then when he matures into King energy, he's on that cement foundation in the middle of the ocean. The ocean surrounds him on all sides. So it's sort of like saying you're putting your toes into the emotional world. Allow that to come up. Believe that you can have that. Trust in it. Meditate upon it. Let it come to you. You come to it. Let this be real. You can have what your heart wants, Sag. You just have to come towards it. You have to allow it and believe that you can connect with that. It's not something that you have to pour out and choose something else. So I'm going to say, I actually say, Sag, at the beginning of August, keep hope alive. Keep that thing that turns you on, that you feel lit up by. You know, when you felt like a teenager and you felt totally happy and joyous and consumed by something that has all of your focus, keep that feeling. You want that. Don't feel like you have to choose between all these options that seem hazy and that you can't really decide between. There's something that this card says that I love, that one of my old friends had said to me a long time ago, which is, remember what yes feels like. You Sagittarius, you need to feel yes. So remember what yes feels like. Believe that you can have it. And it's here. When cards are in reverse, there is some sort of doubt, fear, or resistance. There may be some sort of belief that you're holding that you can't actually have what you want, that you can't have what excites you, that you can't have what makes your heart leap. But you can. The card is here. It's just in reverse because there's doubt, fear, or resistance that is coming up that may need to be removed. And I'm also seeing that with lovers. So I'm kind of seeing like you don't actually believe that you can have the relationship you want. For many of you, this is going to be romantic because cups have to do with the heart. They have to do with our emotions. For some of us, for some of you Sagittarius, it may have to do with something else. But I'm seeing, you know, here's a couple and here's a couple, and they're both in line with this. I'm actually seeing that if this doubt, fear, or resistance is related to a partnership or a coupledom, that both of the people in the partnership have healing to do, either together or separately. This card is about recovery, healing. They're together, but they need to go on a healing journey together. So that's part of it too. It may be that you don't believe you can have what you want because you know that this healing has to happen before this can really happen, before you have two whole integrated souls that can come together with the blessing from that divine spirit. They really have some work to do. They have to go somewhere new. And interesting, it's about crossing this emotional ocean. Just interesting, Sag. Stay neutral with it. Just observe for August. It's about pouring your foundations. Again, if you are feeling cut off from your belief that you can have something that makes your heart leap, I want you to think about this card, which is 5 of coins. There's a choice here. You can either feel left out in the cold, wounded, bandaged, like I feel like a beggar maybe, or you may need to focus on the spiritual world. Now, this is a world that is always open. It's where the warmth is. It's where the nourishing is. Or the nourishment. It's where comfort is for those who are out in the cold. They just need to go in. It's always open 24 hours. It's where the warmth and the light is. But if you focus on the physical world and not the spiritual world, this is going to be the experience that you have. If you focus on the spiritual world, you get the coins, you get the stained glass, you get the beauty, you get the warmth, you get fulfillment, you get nourished and comforted. But it's a real card of focus. What are you going to focus on, Sag? Like, are you going to focus on the lack? Oh, I don't have it. I'm always left out in the cold. I'm always left by myself. I'm lonely. I'm cold. I'm, wounded. Or I'm going to go somewhere where all my needs are taken care of, where I'm cared for, where I'm comforted. The spiritual world is what is going to comfort you. So with that being the case, you will survive this, Sag. This is the survivor card. This is Cool Hand Luke, is what I call it, where he keeps getting knocked down but keeps getting back up. So it's 9 of Wands, and it's sort of like, it's what's interesting, Sag, is that his head is bandaged. Also, in this card, here's the bandaged head too. So some of you may feel like you've gone through some sort of being left out, not being able to get what you want, only being offered options that feel hazy, but you're going to survive this. You will survive. And no matter how many times you get knocked down, you're always going to get back up. That's Sag in a nutshell. Happy-go-lucky, like rolls off your back. But you may feel like just sort of like a little bit like a wounded survivor, but you are a survivor, and I'd like you to focus on that aspect of it. Often when I see this card too, I think of a Beckett quote, which says, "Ever tried, ever failed, never mind, try again, fail better." So just keep at it, Sag. Don't give up hope. That's what I'm really going to get here. And the more that you focus on the spiritual world, the easier it's going to be for you. I think it might be hard for you right now, though, in August, because both of these are in reverse. This is a choice of focusing on the spiritual versus the physical and the mundane world, external circumstances. And Hermit is about going within and looking for the truth. He separates himself off from the rest of the world, and he's really looking for this truth. And he goes up into the mountains and says, I'm really interested in the truth, what matters, what is consistent. And I kind of think you may need to do that middle of the month, Sag. You're going to be given a truth. Interestingly enough, what surrounds the whole middle of the month, this is a card of truth, and this is a card of truth. Ace of Swords and Hermit are all about the truth. And what it's surrounding is partnership energy that's out of balance, and how your personal power is showing up within partnership. 2 of Wands means connecting to your own confidence, believing in yourself, believing that you're capable of anything, feeling like the world is in the palm of your hands, feeling like you can do anything, the world is your oyster, feeling like I'm ready to go forth and conquer, or I'm standing in my own power. Now, in relation to, but notice, by the way, too, that these are both 2 cards, 2 of Wands, and Lovers is inherently a 2 card, even though it's the 6. There's a lot of 2 energy, obviously. And this is a Gemini card. So if some of you are working with Gemini energy, you know, it's really about finding balance. And what I'm really getting here for you, Sag, is being able to show up as yourself with your own personal power within relationship. And that may be out of whack. That may be what you're focused on in August and you don't know how to do it. And that's where this card of healing is coming in, where both parties need to heal. And, you know, two of coins is in reverse. You've got 2 2s in reverse here. And then in some ways, lovers. So what needs to heal, Sag, for you to be in a healthy relationship? Or are you in a healthy relationship and you're just looking for more balance, more clarity, more truth? Is there more healing that needs to be done? That's available to you at the end of the month. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. I'm getting that you're getting insights, though. You know, this card is the truth will set you free. Ace of Swords is a new beginning. It's a new thought. It's a new belief. And this is the Excalibur sword. This is a sword of victory. And this is the card that the Archangel Michael carries, which slays and cuts through everything that's not true. And the Hermit is about going within and looking for that truth. So you may be resistant to doing that. You may be feeling like, I don't want to feel isolated. Some of you Sages will compensate for this by surrounding yourself with all kinds of people because you don't want to feel lonely or isolated, or in some ways this is like hiding the truth from yourself. Like, I don't really want to know the truth, but it's there. You do know it. You may just have a resistance to coming into your own power, seeing the truth for what it is. But when you do, when you get that courage to confront it, there is a lot of healing available. This card means going from troubled waters to smoother seas, smoother horizons. And often, Sag, this can be someone else helping you, or you helping someone else, or you helping yourself. So I'm going to say August might just be a nice time of healing. Again, acknowledging the truth and pouring your foundations. It might feel heavy, but it might also feel like, if you think of a skateboarder, it might be like skating through it. It's just, for some of you, I'm getting it like it's flatlining. But it's also just like that quiet that helps to find a space between a lot of activity, a lot of, you know, any sound, music, noise, action. Then there's a pause. And then there's more activity. So you might want to use August as a time for a period of reflection, a time of quiet, a time of getting closer to the truth, and just setting that foundation. I'm also getting that with this card, 7 of Coins. This is a card, it's obvious, look, it's a card of reflection. He's sitting and he's taking a time out, waiting for those crops to ripen, waiting for that harvest. It's actually depicting grapes, but they're shown as coins. So it's saying the time is not ripe yet to harvest something, to pick the fruit. You need to wait for it to sweeten on the vine. It's going to be hard for you to have patience, though, because 7 of Coins means just taking time out to reflect, to assess, to have patience, waiting for those fruits to ripen on the vine. When it's in the reverse, it's saying like, no, I want it now. I want the answers now. I want to know. I want to pick all the things now. But if you do, it will be sour. So it's kind of saying to me, with both of these in reverse, it's going to be hard for you to go within and be patient. I'm just going to encourage you to try to do that, Sag. It might be showing up too in terms of finances. 8 of Coins and 2 of Coins. This means working hard and being productive. In the reverse position, there may be challenges towards your work. You might be getting like little annoyances at work, and you may be feeling stretched thin money-wise. But what I'm really getting is that it's an opportunity for you to have your focus on healing, on recovery from something, Sag. Really, again, I'm just going to emphasize, take a breather, pour your foundation, do some reflection, have some patience with yourself. there's a lot of sort of balancing energy. I'm almost getting to the image of when you're pouring cement, you kind of need to balance it so that you get an even surface, you know, like you need to move it around. I'm getting that from these two cards, especially like balancing, finding balance so that you have an even surface that you can build a strong foundation on. So Sag, I'm just going to say for August, allow your heart's real true joy to be one of your options. Believe that that's possible. Even if you're not seeing it among your current options, keep your focus on the spiritual world instead of the physical world where you may just feel wounded or like a survivor. Connect with the truth. That's going to give you real insights to how you show up in partnerships and whether you are making any sacrifices to your own personal power or your own confidence within those. That's going to be a theme for August, is about balancing those. And take time to heal. Take time to recover, to go from a place of turbulence or chaos to smoother horizons. That's really a theme for you. And try to be patient with yourself. That's going to be maybe a challenge, but also very rewarding if you can. So I'm just saying for you, for August, Sag, take a time out. Take it easy, take it smooth, you know, just roll with it, cruise through. Like, it's just an intermission for you between July and September. So that's my reading for you, Sag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Sag who you think might enjoy the message. And if you'd ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that. I'll have a link up top for my website where you can book one. Or if you have any comments or questions, you can put those below. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. Yours in the stars.